Since I was a teenager, I really kind of dabbled in different parts of the fashion industry. I started interning at a modeling agency, and then I ended up being an agent for a while, and then I was a curator. So it was really kind of seeing many different facets of the industry. But I knew one thing that really inspired me was the idea that fashion can empower people. I started Brother Bellies in January 2013. I spent a couple of years doing development in Africa prior to that. First place in Africa I ever went was Morocco and then Nigeria. And I was just seeing a lot of different people making things and that they were kind of struggling, and you know, there was a lot of American donated goods that were also really harming their manufacturing industry, and I just said, you know, these people are amazing. They're just as talented as anyone in Italy. I don't see why they can't make shoes as well. So we just started working together, and then a collection was born. One thing that's really inspired me are like traditional African shapes. So I work a lot with something called a felschoen or a felly, or how we say in America, a belly, which is a traditional desert boot. They've been making those in South Africa and Namibia for hundreds of years. And also the Moroccan babouche has been a favorite of mine for many years. And so it's just building on these traditional shapes that I think is really inspiring to me and the people that I work with. About a year ago, I partnered with the United Nations Ethical Fashion Initiative. They're amazing. But I called the UN and I was like, this is what I'm doing and I really need your help. Is there anyone at the UN that cares about shoes? And there were, which is crazy. But shoes are like a universal connector. So we kind of all got together and said, like, there's a value to this. We're creating jobs. We're training people. And how can we make sure that there's a standard that's kind of set across the board about how these artisans should be treated? It's really about artisanal development. I can only evolve in a design capacity as our artisans evolve in a skill set capacity. You know, my grandmother always said all ships rise with the tide. So I think that we're all kind of like, you know, getting better and growing together.